What happens when love is tested not by poverty, but by success, fame, and money? This emotional romantic story is told from the perspective of Katya, a simple girl who falls in love with a rich, intelligent man. Their relationship begins quietly, with small moments and deep conversations, but real challenges arise when wealth, public attention, and ambition enter their lives. As success grows, distance follows. As fame increases, silence becomes louder. And love must prove whether it can survive abundance without losing its heart. This story explores love between different worlds, emotional distance caused by success, fame, money, and relationships, choosing presence over luxury, true love beyond wealth. If you enjoy deep storytelling, emotional narration, and realistic love stories, this video is for you.
Love Stories Max. Welcome to my channel. Enjoy watching, friends.
Love tested by fame and money. My name is Katya. I always believed that love comes quietly, not with fireworks, but with small things. A sluka glance, a warm word, the way someone notices you among hundreds of others. I just didn't know it could turn your life upside down so deeply. I worked in a small cafe near the business district. Old wooden tables, the smell of cinnamon, slightly worn cups, and me. An ordinary girl with dreams I didn't always dare to say out loud. He walked in on a rainy evening. Tall, reserved, wearing an expensive coat, but with the eyes of someone who felt trapped inside his own world. He ordered a black coffee with no sugar and sat by the window. I noticed something right away. He wasn't looking at his phone. He was watching the rain. "Is it always this quiet here?" he asked when I brought his coffee. "Only when people come who know how to listen to silence," I replied, surprised by my own courage. He smiled, slightly, with his eyes. His name was Maxim. I learned it later, from the signature on the receipt he left with tips that were far too generous. I wanted to give the extra back, but he was already gone. The next day he came again. And again. Always at the same hour. We started talking about books, cities he had visited, and how easy it is to lose yourself when you have everything. I didn't know then that he was the owner of a large IT company. To me, he was just a man who listened as if my words mattered. One day he invited me to dinner. I came in a simple dress and cheap earrings. He was waiting in a restaurant with a view of the city, where the chandeliers cost more than my yearly rent. "Are you uncomfortable here?" he asked. "A little," I admitted. "Then let's leave." We ate pizza on a bench by the river. He took off his watch worth thousands of dollars and put it in his pocket, as if hiding part of himself. That was when I fell in love, truly. But happiness is rarely simple. His mother entered my life suddenly. Elegant, cold, perfectly dressed. She looked at me as if I were a temporary mistake. "You're a sweet girl, Katya," she said calmly. "But Maxim needs an equal partner. Not a cafe fairy tale." Her words cut deep. I didn't tell Maxim anything. I started pulling away, declining meetings, saying I was tired. I lied badly, But he pretended to believe me. Then I saw him with another woman. Elegant, confident, from a world where I didn't belong. I left without waiting for explanations. Days without him became empty. Coffee no longer smelled the same. I quit my job. I thought about leaving the city. Running away. He found me in the rain. Again, on the same bench by the river. "I thought you didn't believe in me," he said quietly. "I thought I was temporary," I answered, barely holding back tears. He explained, the woman was a business partner. And his mother, he had been fighting her for years. For the right to live his own life. "My money means nothing," he said, "if I can't be with the one who made me real." He knelt in front of me right there in the rain. No ring, no show. "Katya, be my home." I cried and laughed at the same time. I thought the hardest part was behind us. That after the rain, after the pain, after the doubts, we could simply live and be happy. But the real trials come when everything seems fine. Maxim became even more famous. His face appeared in business magazines. His name echoed at conferences. People stopped us in restaurants, asked for photos, shook his hand. I stood next to him and smiled, but inside, I felt a shadow growing between us. He started coming home late. I learned the sound of his keys in the lock, fast, tired, without pause. Before, he would kiss my forehead and put his phone on the shelf. Now the phone stayed in his hand. Always. I opened my own cafe. Small, bright, white walls, warm lights. I chose the beans myself, wrote the menu in chalk, washed cups every evening. Maxim helped financially, quietly. But whispers followed me. "She's the one with the rich guy. She just got lucky." I came home smelling like coffee. He came home smelling like expensive perfume and foreign cities. We spoke less. Even silence changed. It wasn't warm anymore. It was tense. One evening I found an earring. Not mine. Small, shiny. I didn't scream. I just placed it on the table. Maxim saw it, and went pale. "It's from a presentation. An assistant." "I'm not asking where it's from," I said softly. "I'm asking why I stopped being your home." He stayed silent, and silence hurts more than betrayal. Then came the magazine cover. Him, in a flawless suit. Millions before 30. I wasn't there. Not in the photo. Not in the article. Not in his world that day. I sat alone in the cafe after closing, drinking cold coffee, counting not money, but losses. Time. Touches. Conversations before sleep. I told him I needed a pause. "You want to leave? I want you to remember who you were when you drank coffee on a bench by the river." I moved into a small apartment above the cafe. The stairs creaked. The city breathed through the walls. I cried at night, but smiled at customers during the day. Fame does not buy presents. He tried to win me back with money. Flowers, trips, an expensive ring. I gave it back. "I don't want to be another project in your life." That's when he broke. Not publicly. Not beautifully. He came early in the morning. No security. No watch. He sat at the table where it all began. "I lost myself," he said. "And I almost lost you." He sold part of the business. Turned down contracts. Not for me, for himself. He started coming every day. Washing cups with me. Listening. Looking into my eyes. Fame left quickly. Money followed more slowly. Love returned carefully. Now we aren't perfect. We're learning. Sometimes we argue. Sometimes we stay silent. But when he puts his phone on the shelf and says, "I'm home," I know we passed the most important test. Because true love is not about surviving poverty. It's about surviving abundance without losing your heart. True love rarely breaks because of poverty. It breaks because of abundance. When money replaces presence, and fame replaces sincerity. When attention is bought with gifts instead of time. When someone is physically near, but emotionally absent. Money can open doors, but it cannot hold your hand at night. Fame can give you a voice, but it will never teach you how to listen. Success can change your life, but it has no right to change your heart. Love is not comfort and not status. It is a choice made every day. It is the courage to slow down when the world keeps shouting, "More." It is the strength to stay real when it's easier to become distant and untouchable. Sometimes the greatest luxury is not millions, magazine covers, or powerful names. The greatest luxury is someone who waits for you not because of who you became, but because of who you truly are. Because if, in the race for success, you lose the person who was with you before it, you didn't win. You simply paid too high a price.